Good morning and welcome to Concurrent Enrollment 101 of Applications with
Nick Steele.
and Mary Woolery.
We're going to walk you guys through on how to use the application and how to get applied and get everything rolling and get you started for the new semester. As you can tell at the very top of the page, we have all of our partners there, and welcome. We're going to start off here and we're going to click and we're going to look at the first question here is we're going to start off as a new user. And then are you a U.S. citizen, yes or no? And so we're going to click there and we're going to walk you through step by step on exactly how to fill this out. Most of this is self-explanatory as we go along with your first name, middle name, last name. And then we'll also go down here and click on your date of birth. Make sure and put your exact name in there, so your legal name as it shows on your transcripts and all of your documents at the school. The next thing we have after your date of birth is we have your gender and, of course, your social security number that you need to put in. And go ahead and we're going to go ahead and click on the whether she's a male or female. Miss Woolery, can you do that? We can click female. And then the country of citizenship. Oh, we're doing Joe T. Pretender, I see here. And he's a male. And then the country of citizenship, which will be the United States of America. All right, email address. And then we're going to confirm that email address. And so as you can tell here, all of this is pretty, as I said earlier, is self-explanatory on how we answer these questions going through. It's kind of difficult to remember the email address when you're confirming it again. And so what we're going to do is we're going to switch up a little bit, and we're going to go to our next button here. And I'm going to type a little bit, and Mary is going to talk.
Oops.
And as you can tell, you cannot put a date of birth that is in the future. So we're going to back this up a little bit, and we're going to put in probably the year 2001. New Year's baby I see there. I wonder if they got any prizes for that.
Well, probably with the name Joe T. Pretender, he got a lot of prizes. Okay, so now we're going to confirm all the details and make sure you check these, especially those birth dates and also your social security number. Those cause a lot of problems if you don't get those in right, so please make sure those are correct. We're going to continue. And now we have to set some security questions. It's best if we check with the security questions that you're going to remember. So if mom and dad are filling this application out for our wonderful students, make sure you fill them out as if you are the student, because they never know where you met your husband or where your first date was. So please remember to write those questions down as well as their answers for your student and share them with them. Students, you probably need to just write them down and email them to your parents so that somebody will remember the security questions. And spell your answers correctly so that you know how you entered it.
You see Joe Pretender's favorite drink is Coke Zero as well.
Yeah, Joe Pretender has good taste. All right, so now that we have that in, we're going to continue.
And this is just saying basically you provided your email address, application and security questions have been emailed to you. Typically you will get an email right after you fill this out, just in case you log out and you need to get back, you need to get started on it again.
Okay. So the entry term is pretty important. If you are a student who is only taking fall or spring classes, make sure you choose spring. For the majority of our students, we're going to start them in fall, and so then we're going to continue. Now we're just going to talk a little bit about ourselves. A prefix is if you are a Mr., a Ms., a Miss, a doctor, a professor. Choose the right one. If you are not married and under 40, you can always choose Miss if you're a female and Mr. if you're a male. If you're a Mrs., congratulations. Your suffix is a junior, a senior. That goes after your name, for those of you who don't understand what that is. So if you're a junior or a senior, make sure you put that after your name and choose that. And if you are married, you would have a previous name, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. And then we have this just basically confirming a lot of these things. The email address, it just populates it there. A lot of these things will populate if you've already filled it out, and it'll have it on the page again just for you to confirm them. It has a question here if you are Hispanic or Latino, so just please answer that, along with the ethnicity and demographics as well.
Okay. And notice that there's an asterisk by all of these. Those that have an asterisk, it will not let you go to the end of the application without filling these out. So please fill them out.
And this is just to collect a lot of data and information for purposes such as your college or your parents' college education, your father and your mother as well. And of course, just for financial aid purposes, even though concurrent students will not be using financial aid, not necessarily now, but maybe in the future, but possibly, it has the question here about if you've ever been convicted of a felony. That's always important to fill out on the application.
Okay, here is our emergency contact information. Please put the person who you would like to be, who you would like us to contact in case of an emergency. So we're going to put Miss Smith here, okay, and make sure you get the phone number. So here we're going to put our parent or guardian. Make sure you spell the parent's first and last name correctly also.
And a lot of times this may be the same thing that you already listed before, but it could possibly be different. Interesting.
Okay, so here we have a parent guardian email. Make sure that you put the email that your parents most often check or your guardian most often checks.
All right, and next up we have basically the address, and this is obviously very important to list here in case anything needs to be sent to you in the mail.
We do not send a lot of mail. Most of our communication goes through UA Little Rock email or the email that you've listed. But there are those times when you need a pin letter sent to your house or maybe a billing confirmation or a transcript. So it's always nice to have a correct address in the system.
This is also very important to list. Have you been a permanent resident of the state of Arkansas for at least the last 6 months? If that answer is obviously yes, 6 months or more, you're considered a resident according to UA Little Rock application. If you have not been, click no. It will probably classify you as out of state and or international. But with concurrent students, all students are charged $50 per class. So whether you are out of state or in state, the charges are going to be the same.
For face-to-face classes?
Yes. And of course, online classes will be
$75.
Right. This is your high school information. Again, a lot of this is really self-explanatory, but you're going to list your high school here. And if you notice on the front page when we were there a while ago, it listed all of the high school partnerships that we have. So just make sure and go down here and click on which high school you're attending, such as, and many of them, actually all the ones that are listed here are all of our partners as well. So make sure and just click maybe Benton High School if you're attending Benton High School, and then the anticipated graduation date, which is also important for us for reporting purposes when we're sending information to your high school counselor or coordinator there. Let's see, let's do 2018. How about we'll do next year?
This area of interest, these are important questions for us. Do you intend to be a full-time student? You are not a full-time student, although you are a full-time high school student. You're not a full-time college student. We are not taking fully online classes, so let's go ahead and check no. And we have not previously applied to UA Little Rock. Okay, press no on that. If you have already applied for UA Little Rock, it will probably throw you into a different application, so we can handle that if that arises. And have you previously attended UA Little Rock? And hopefully the answer is no there as well. All right, now we're just going to preview all of the information that you just entered, and we're going to check for spelling errors and anything that needs to be edited. Again, check that birth date, check that email address, check that social security number, and then all of your phone numbers and addresses as well.
And in case if you need to, you can always edit this information. Obviously, you can edit the personal information, edit the emergency contact, and all of that information here as we move along.
Once you click past this screen, though, you cannot edit anymore on the social security number and birth date specifically, so please check to make sure they're correct.
You also want to make sure and confirm all of these things, read over them, and check them before you submit the application. You don't have to worry about printing this page. You can if you want to. You're at home, but typically a lot of times you may be in a computer lab at school, and they may not want you to print everything. So you do not have to print this page for any purposes whatsoever other than for yourself if you want to. So we'll go ahead and confirm these things, and then we're about to wrap up this application. You'll just go down here and submit my application. And then the most important part is about to happen right now. Mary, you want to talk about that a little bit? This is the best part.
This is your application received receipt. This is just verifying that you have applied. We see that we have blocked out some of your social security number, and that's for FERPA regulations. But what we see here is a student ID. That's a T number, T00637798. Joe T. Pretender is now a UA Little Rock student, and he has an official T number. So this is something that you're going to take a picture of. You're going to print this page. You're going to put this in your phone. You're going to email it to your parents. Your T number is your student ID, and it will follow you forever, and it will forever be your UA Little Rock ID number.
Yes, it will, and that T stands for Trojan, and welcome to UA Little Rock. We look forward to having you here and working with you, and we'll get your transcripts and your test scores from your high school coordinator there that we work with, and once we do that, you guys will hopefully be accepted, and once you're accepted, you will receive a PIN letter in the mail, and that PIN letter is very important to keep up with, which will help you along the registration process when we come back and visit you in August.
So we'll see you in August at registration.
Have a good day.